Hello and welcome to Respect the Crit. I'm your host, Ian Duncan. Our pronouns are he, him, any, and I am playing Ruby Weapon, the charismatic hero, drag icon, she, her, any. And here to play along with me, please welcome Jamie Lee-Bonés.
Hello, I am Jamie, she, her, and I play Jewel Stone, the agile martial artist. Also she, her, hiya. Chop chop.
Hiya. And also Susan Spenader.
Hi, I'm Susan. A she, her. I'll be playing Elysia Valerius, also she, her, the Shinra battlefield medic turncoat. Let's put a bandage on it.
Let's put a bandage on it. That should be that should be her catchphrase. That's like in the Shinra core, the medical core. That's like underneath in Latin. Let's put a bandage on it on their little like badge.
I like it.
Yeah. And here to take us all through this incredible world, please welcome our Materia keeper, Xavier Trudeau-Deschênes.
Hello, everybody. It is I, Xavier, he, him, and I will be leading you through this last stretch of our journey. It's been so short, but also it feels like it's been months. It's been going on for months.
Just like playing the game, you're like, wow, it's over already, but you've been playing it for 3 months.
100 hours.
Yeah, what's going on? You may also notice, if you're listening to this, that we don't have Alex Herrera with us, and that is because Alex has stepped away to do the thing that he was going to do that we've been projecting, or that we've been announcing this whole time. So he's taken some family time, but don't worry, he'll be back on the show when he decides to return, and once things are settled. In the meantime, we're gonna finish telling this incredible story with just us here, and I can't wait. I've been amped for this for all the months that we've been playing. I've been amped for this since we were talking about doing this, Xavier. So this is one of my favorite. It's the first thing we did, and it's one of my favorite ways that we ended a one shot in all the things that we've done. It just felt like really perfect. So I can't wait to see what you're gonna do with this and how you're gonna bring this beautiful story home, and hopefully leave it just a little taste, or maybe down the road something else.
Just a little taste. I'm glad there's no pressure.
The bar's up here,
Right?
Oh boy.
I hope I got your blood pumping, cause dang if mine isn't pumping. And with that blood rushing through our veins, going to our hearts, our brains, and all our various parts, Xavier, please take us away.
Exterior, Wall Market, Sector 6. Day. It's about 2 p.m. The neon lights are off, resting during the day like nocturnal predators, and instead the artificial sunlight is bathing the main road in an unflattering light. The camera hovers past some tired visitors who are roaming about looking for something to eat, while workers are making business preparations for the evening, stocking up shelves, or rehearsing their act for tonight. We fly inside the Honeybee Inn, where a sheepish Diane tries to help set up new installations on the main stage, helping several technicians under the watchful eye of owner Andrea Rodea. But as we exit through a back door into the alleyways of Wall Market, a sinister presence can be felt lurking in the darkness. We cut to a wide aerial shot of Midgar. There's a helicopter that flies past our camera from behind and towards the city, and we cut right inside of it. We have Sybil sitting next to Elysia, and just sitting right across of them, face to face, we have Ruby Weapon and Jewel Stone. And I just imagine there's this awkward silence for a good while. We have, Artie hasn't climbed aboard the helicopter for family reason. Kenton being family, we know. And so there's just Sybil sitting there with her trademark smile. And without saying anything, she knows the situation that you are all in, and she takes great pleasure in it. And she's just waiting for someone to say something.
Jewel's just sitting there next to Ruby, staring daggers. Maybe with some pursed lips. Like, definitely a grumpy face.
Ruby is there, also staring daggers behind some very large sunglasses. But she does take them off and folds them slowly and goes, "Shame. It looks like you could have used a few more days at that spa."
She nods. She accepts your first salvo.
petty bitchiness.
Well, touche. I would not have minded staying there a little longer, but you forced my hand. This being said, Elysia, don't take this the wrong way. Well, you and I could be best friends by the end of this. My permanent assignment is to make sure you are well. You know? Of course, I mean, this means surveillance at all times, but we could get to know each other. It just doesn't need to be an antagonistic relationship.
Why wasn't I made aware of this constant surveillance?
This information is on a need-to-know basis, but the gist of it is that Shinra wants to study you in your day-to-day. They just want to see if you'll recover naturally or if you're gonna need resources spent on you. The less you know, the better, is all I'm saying. But now that the cat is out of the bag, this is gonna be less complicated for me. You just get to go about your business in Midgar. I'll be keeping an eye on you, and if anything happens, if you start feeling bad again, and she kind of like slips you a card, like a little Shinra, like it's got nothing on it except like the Shinra logo and then a number. Just call this number, and I'll arrive as soon as I can.
Will I be continuing my Shinra duties? As a scientist, I understand the need to observe and watch, but also now the subject has been made aware of the experiment, which already skews the results. So
Absolutely. So you will be going through a weekly medical examination to make sure that your health progress is stable, and once they consider that you are fit to be reassigned, you will be reassigned. This is great news.
Elysia will do a quick glance over to Ruby and give like this like squinting of the eyes, but it's like that like knowing look type of thing, like with eyebrows kind of raised but squinting, and then look back really quickly to Sybil. All right. And in that moment, I was trying to convey, ooh, this is a chance.
This is a what? Yeah, what does that mean?
Like this is a chance for us to get information.
I might need to roll for that, because Ruby does like language through like looks and eyebrow raises is 100% something that Ruby does, but that might be like complicated to understand because she doesn't know. So
and we're fairly new friends.
Yeah, let me roll an insight check. Do you have like a skill that I could maybe try and beat as a DC?
Let me see, because I'm not trying to deceive you, so maybe like if there's a performance.
Performance is good.
That's good. Yeah,
I think so.
You think that would be good, Xavier?
Conveying a message through acting.
Yeah. Okay, this will be good for you because
Okay,
I have a +0.
Okay. What is it? What is the number I'm trying to beat?
Let's do a contested check.
Cool. I rolled very well.
I rolled very high.
Oh no. Okay, my insight is I got 19.
I got a nat 20.
Oh my god. So I don't beat it.
I like to think that I didn't want Sybil to pick up on it, so maybe even then it was so good that Ruby can't pick up on it.
Yeah, I think
cryptic.
Yeah, I think because it was close, like Ruby picks up that you're trying to talk to her, like you're trying to convey a message, but this inner working Shinra stuff, like she doesn't know anything about that, so like she does not get what you're trying to say, but she does know that you are trying to tell something.
Okay.
And in response, she just says, Elysia, don't trust anything that a Turk says. They're just a blunt cudgel for the upper class, trying to keep everyone down. They don't protect anyone. They're overfunded and aren't in any way helpful to a majority of people. And she's looking right at Sybil.
And I mean, are you even consenting to any of this, Elysia? Like, you have to consent for them to do experiments on you, you know?
I consent to medical surveillance to make sure that this is not, harming me in any way, but I didn't. Experimentation. And then she looks to Sybil. There won't be any experimentation, will there?
You're the science department employee. I'm just here to keep an eye on you. I'm not privy to all this speculation. You see, why? Again, I understand your apprehension. You're gonna get nothing out of me.
So you're just an overpaid delivery person then?
I wish I was overpaid.
Not protecting, not serving.
Hey, it's a dirty job, but someone has to do it.
Nobody has to do it. No one's forcing you.
Life is kind of like a train. You're kind of stuck on the rails you've been put on, and you have nowhere to go but, well, the rails lead you. But baby, I'm the train conductor.
Ruby laughs hard at that. She's like, you think you're the train conductor? Is it your name that's on the signature for your paycheck?
You think Sybil is my name?
I don't care what your name is. It's not the person signing your checks. It's not the people that you're actually protecting. See, me, Jewel, Elysia, we're all people that need protecting. We need help. Have you been to Sector 6? Of course you have. You've seen what it looks like. You've seen the destitution that people are in. Are the people that are signing your paychecks, do they need the kind of help that people in Sector 6 do, that people in Sector 4 do? You're no train conductor, sweetie. You are on the train with all of us, and the sooner you realize that, the sooner we can take this train wherever we want to go. And then she puts her sunglasses back on. And settles in.
Yeah, Sybil has no response to that. She sits back and sort of taps on her knee with her fingers. In silence, maybe reflecting on those words, maybe trying to come up with a proper rebuttal. But the next few minutes are kind of heavy with silence. And then she gets a phone call on her PHS. There's kind of these phone charms attached to it. It's very cute. She just listens to it and just says, acknowledged. Closes it. Well, we're about to land right next to your home, so I'm afraid this is gonna be a goodbye. I'm gonna miss all of you, but if you need anything, again, just call me, Elysia. Don't be afraid. If your headaches come back, if the voices you've been hearing come back, if you need someone to talk to, just call me.
Quick glance to Jewel and Ruby, and then just a nod at Sybil. Kind of my superior, but also don't want to be nice to her.
She stands up and kind of just holds herself to one of those just handlebars above her head and opens the side door midair. And she kicks a well-rolled ladder that's just on the floor. She kicks it down and it just unfurls down to the pavement below. And you are in fact above Sector 5, Elysia's neighborhood. Top plate. Very nice, fancy district. And you're sort of hovering over a nice little park with trees, or synthetic trees at least, that have this fake greenery that most plants don't, or potted plants maybe you can survive, but There's barely any plant life in Midgar anyway. Except for this nice little park with plastic leaves. And yeah, Sybil kind of just like waits, her body almost half out the helicopter, and gesturing you to go down by the ladder.
Well, this is my stop. You guys want to come to my place? I don't think they'll drop you off anywhere else.
I would love to. Thank you so much for the invitation. As Ruby goes to exit, she's going to come up to Sybil and go, Sybil is a very nice name for a performer. If you're ever thinking of changing occupations, you know where to find me. And then she tries very daintily to go down this swinging ladder.
I just picture, there's a certain age where people like me, when they bend down, they make noises.
Yep, 100%.
And I just imagine Ruby's got some of her own.
Yep, 100%. And her shoes are fucked up. It's she's trying to do it as best she can. I'm gonna make a performance check here. Oh, okay, that's a 12. There are some noises and joint creaks.
Could be worse.
Yeah.
Opposite of that, Jewel is going to try to slide down this ladder.
Yeah.
There's probably a point where you're about to slide past Ruby because Ruby's not all the way down, so you just switch sides to avoid Ruby.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Ruby, I'll catch ya.
Jewel, come on. It's swaying. We're still in the air.
Whee!
Bringing up the rear, Elysia will just climb down normal.
And once everybody's on the ground, from up there, Sybil gives you a little 2 fingers to the forehead salute as the helicopter just flies away.
Hello, listeners. Thank you for joining me in the mid-roll. Just a short one real quick. Want to give you a heads up of what is coming down the road for Respect the Crit. Firstly, some very exciting news. We have been nominated by the Crit Awards for an award for actual play podcasts. We were nominated in the category of Best Villain on an actual play podcast for Bonastasi from our Star Wars campaign. That's very, very cool and very exciting for all of us. And it's because of, in no small part, to our community and our listeners for nominating us in this category or putting us up for any nomination at all. Y'all are really wonderful people, and we wouldn't be doing this without you. And it's so humbling and joyful to be recognized for something that we know brings joy to the people that are in our community and that are listening to us. That's the best feedback of all. And that's great. So thank you all so much. Voting for the awards will be happening soon. I believe it's opened now and will go until July 7th. So if you want to vote for us for Best Villain for Bonastasi, you can go to critawards.org and go to that category and give us a vote. I'm not sure 100% how all of that works, but I think that's how it'll go. If there's a change to that, then I'll make an amendment here, or we'll probably tweet about it or something like that. Anyway, thank you all. That's really exciting. The awards are going to be announced at Gen Con in August of this year, so that's really cool. It'll also be live streamed, so yeah, what exciting news. What a great thing. I'm floored. And now about our schedule of episodes. This is our penultimate episode of our Final Fantasy VII Disc 2 campaign. We'll have the finale 2 weeks from now. And then, as usual, we're going to do a little wrap-up episode where we just kind of like sit down with the cast and sit down with Xavier and talk about the system that we played, the story that we played, the characters that we played, revisit some of the things that we really like or the highlights or the things that stood out to us, and talk about some of the behind the scenes stuff, things that maybe got cut out or things that we don't really keep in the episode, that kind of stuff. Just a kind of an insight into, you know, how we play our game and how we make our show, and of course the enjoyment that we got from playing this campaign that Xavier put together for us. Following that, we are going to be starting our Call of Cthulhu campaign. Yes, we've been talking about this for a little bit, and Susan has been working on this for a hot minute. So it's very good. I guarantee you will never see the things coming that are coming up in that story. None of us did while we were playing it. We've got a few episodes recorded now. It's a really great campaign, and I can't wait for y'all to listen to it. There's going to be some returning guests and a new voice to Respect the Crit who will be joining us for the Call of Cthulhu campaign. And we'll be starting that off with a Session 0 episode. So that will be us sort of like discussing our expectations for the campaign, Susan running us through the things that we need to know about the system and about the story and the historical period, and us creating the characters and collaborating on our relationships that we're going to be playing in the upcoming campaign. So we've got our finale for our Final Fantasy VII story coming up. Then we'll do our wrap up. Then we do a character creation Session 0 for Call of Cthulhu. And then we start getting into the Session 1, baby. So that's what's coming up down the road. Remember to check out critawards.org and check out our nomination for Best Villain in an Actual Play Podcast, and give us a vote there if you want to see us win at Gen Con in August. As always, please check out our episode notes so that you can get important messages, important links. Check out our socials and check out the credits for the musicians and the various artists that have allowed us or given us permission to use their art in our show. As always, thank you so much for downloading. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your feedback. And now, let's get back to the episode.
And you are in this quaint little park. There's some bystanders kind of like, oh, look, a helicopter. Oh, interesting. They dropped someone. Oh, how nice. And your house, Elysia, is not too far from here.
I will start leading them towards the house.
I follow, but I'm screaming like at all the people looking like, Ruby Weapon, Honeybee Inn, Saturday nights, come on by.
And Jewel is just looking around like, wow, this is nice. Like, this is nice. There's no litter on the streets. Like, this is a nice park.
That's a good observation. I don't know how often you two come topside, but it's like a movie set almost. Like it doesn't look like real life to you.
Yeah.
Except for Elysia.
Yeah. This is my street.
Yeah.
This is my hood.
Yeah. Your home looks like a movie set to me.
Yeah, just a different kind of movie.
Yeah.
Very different genre.
Yeah.
And so just the short walk is kind of nice. You're on these very wide sidewalks. Let's say the city wasn't built for pedestrians or cyclists, but still, it's well-managed streets. And you've got these Mako fueled cars just going about their businesses. It's a nice normal day, normal 2 p.m. day up above. So it's a work day probably. And the streets aren't too busy. There's a lack of, birds chirping. Now that you're back from the countryside, there's just this distinct lack of everything you've witnessed in the past 3 days. But still, feels familiar. You're back home. You're back in Midgar. Susan, Elysia, do you want to like describe where you live? What kind of place it is? Do you live with your parents or are you on your own?
I think she's on her own right now. It's definitely funded by parents, but to some extent. I was imagining her living in an apartment. How you painted the neighborhood, I'm almost imagining like brownstone buildings.
Yeah.
Brownstone apartments. And Alicia's walks in front of one of the brownstones and goes, and it has like a nice little fake garden in front, as do most of them. And hers has like white shutters on open on the windows, and it's just nice and clean, and there's steps leading up to it, which she has a bright blue door, and she gestures to it and says, this is me, this is my home.
Wow, really living high on the plate here, aren't we?
A little sheepish. Yeah.
Oh babe, you don't have to be embarrassed about it. None of us get to choose where we come from, okay? This is gorgeous, and thank you for inviting us.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, my parents are in the Moogle business, so as she's opening up the door. So yeah, we do pretty well for ourselves.
Moogle business? Do you breed them, or what do you mean exactly by that?
Oh, I'm sure you may have, a little sheepish again, you may have seen them, in those claw machines, or the stuffed Moogles.
Oh, yes, the toys. Yes, I got you. I understand.
Yeah, I don't want to say a monopoly on the market, but there aren't any or many competitors.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think there's a factory down below where they assemble those and stitch them up. I've seen some of the rejects in big piles.
Yeah, my dad would bring those home for me as a kid. My room was filled with them at one point. Got so sick of them, and when I was a teenager, that you started throwing them out the window. You know how teenagers are.
I do. Looking at Jewel, who's not a teenager.
No.
And as the door opens up, she'll turn on the lights, and it's like it leads into a hallway, like a pretty spacious hallway. And to the right is like a living room, and towards the back you could see a kitchen, and then there's stairs leading up to a second floor. Yeah, and she sets down her bag in the foyer and goes, "Let me give you a tour," and she'll show you around.
Ooh, okay, nice.
Yeah, and it's like nicely put together. It's nicely decorated, but also doesn't look super lived in either. Like it has the elements of like pre-furnished apartment, that feel.
An IKEA catalog.
Yeah.
Is it like just I needed to have furniture, so this is what I've put in to sort of like fill this space? Or is it like I am a lonely person and I rarely ever use any of this stuff?
It makes both. Like the places where living room and kitchen, where there should be like the most like clutter or live-in feel, you could tell there's like one spot at the table that's always used, and then like the same God, she uses like the same dishes and then cleans them.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think Ruby can clock this, because like where she comes from, it's very lived in, and there's a lot of like people living on top and with each other, and that, even for as uncomfortable as that is sometimes, like that's just kind of what she knows. And so when she sees the like one dish used in like the one thing, she's like, okay, I get it. This is a person that doesn't interact with people a lot.
Yeah. And then when we go upstairs, I want to maybe there's 2 bedrooms. One is like really small. There's the master, which has like the bed and all that, and then the other room she's converted to a lab. Yeah, it has like her main computer, and then there's like a chemistry, like a full-size chemistry set. She has like the windows blocked too, because light affects some experiments. So it's just like, and there's things like bubbling there, but it's like simmering. It's not like active experiments, but there's like a whole wall of bottles and beakers and chemistry equipment, and then a whole wall of like bookshelves with books, and then a computer on the other side.
This is so cool, Elysia.
Yeah, this is where I spend most of my time. And then she actually, like, out of her bag, she'll start taking out the laptop with the hard drive. And she's like, so you could see you're starting to get excited. During the whole tour, she was just kind of like, this is this. But now it's like that life. She's like, yeah, this is where I spend most of my time. Yeah, I don't have any experiments actively going because, you know, vacation. And she was like taking out the hard drive and putting it on the table, the computer. But I'm really, like, ready to tackle this hard drive. I know I wasn't able to on the road, but now I have my equipment. I know I can crack this.
Well, I mean, would Ruby or Jewel kind of like want to take a hot shower or use like a super clean toilet?
Oh, yes.
Let's see how many bathrooms
100%.
in this apartment.
There's one upstairs and a half bath downstairs, and the one upstairs has a soaker tub and a shower.
Well, this all is incredibly interesting, and I'm so excited for you to get to tackle this thing. I am going to take a long shower. Elysia, do you have any towels?
Oh yeah. And then she goes out to the hallway that led to this room, and there's a linen closet filled with like untouched, and you know they've probably been there a while. Untouched towels. There's like even robes in there. She'll get you a big fluffy robe and a towel, and even like slippers. Probably like her parents made sure that she had like so much stuff that she never uses.
This is perfect. Yeah, she'll take this and she will go to the largest bathroom she can find.
Oh, it's in the master suite. That's the biggest one.
Mm-hmm. Slam, door slam.
I'm going to get a snack. Do you have any snacks?
Yeah, I think my mom made sure that my fridge would be full when I got back. She wasn't sure when I was gonna get back, but so she may have just been constantly filling it, but there should be stuff that in there.
Awesome. Well, you do your thing. I'm going to go get some noms, and I'll come check back in.
Okay, yeah, help yourself to anything. Yeah, cook all the stuff in the kitchens. What's mine is yours.
And I think the whole time Jewel is just going to try not to get anything dirty. Like she'll probably like jump on the couch with like a bag of chips and about to put her feet up on the coffee table, realize, oh wait, this is a fancy place. I shouldn't do that here. And is very aware of her not messing stuff up because this is much nicer than she's used to.
And the pantry or whatever you found is probably stocked full. Her mom wouldn't let her go hungry. She's like, oh, she may want snacks or she may want a meal. Oh, but she needs her fruit and vegetables and like so there's like everything. Even though Elysia was going to be gone for an indeterminate amount of time. But I'm going to crack this hard drive for real this time.
I kind of imagine this next sequence happening where it's kind of like a hacking sequence in a hacking movie. So you got Elysia at her computer going away while it cuts to just Ruby in the bathtub just with like a towel on her eyes, and then cuts to Jewel on the couch just flipping through the channels of this massive television, eating chips. Like there's chips all over, and it's just like it cuts back between the three of you. And because you are back home, you have your computer, your fiber internet, and this is your third time trying to crack this hard drive. I'm gonna make you roll with advantage, not to see if you can crack it or not. You will crack this now. What we're gonna find out is how much of it and how much juicy details can you extract.
Okay. Back at full strength, so this is +8.
Good.
Okay.
There
so we gotta
go.
respect that crit.
There we go.
I got a 20.
Nat 20 or 30
Yeah,
20?
nat 20. So
Oh my
28.
Listen, I have a special note here. It says, on a roll of 20 or plus, remove all the redacted parts.
Oh, really? Oh, Susan, you could not have rolled any better.
This is what I needed.
And so it takes a while, right? You're in your dark room, as you've described it. You have just like the light of your screen in your face as you're typing, like taking a quick, like a Soylent sip while you're doing this.
Still dirty too, like covered in water. Like she did not want to do anything but crack this.
Yeah, pretty much. You kind of like break in. You break into the security part of this hard drive, giving you access to all these files. And as I described before, this is indeed like an archive hard drive. So there's like thousands of documents in it. Kind of like it's super long to sift through it. But you peruse at first, and then you encounter some more blockings and a lot of like redacted parts. But because this is not like paper, there's still a way for you to break in even further, and that's where your crit comes in. You see the like opening and you take it, and then you spend the next hour or so just trying to get as deep into that encryption as you can. And eventually there's a few words that sort of like attract your attention, and you start filtering those documents by keywords that you've encountered. And the more you do it, the more you start seeing a pattern in this archive. We'll continue the sequence where we cut back to Ruby. What's Ruby doing right now?
Ruby's probably done with the bath, so she's reapplying makeup or something like that, and going through the drawers in the bathroom.
As a good guest.
There's probably a lot of prescription drugs that were given to Elysia this last 2 months just to see what would stick.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she's just, like looking, okay, yes, these are antibiotics. Oh, here we go.
And we cut back to Jewel. What are you up to now?
Finishing off this bag of chips, but like when you lift the bag up to your mouth and you're kind of drinking the like crumbs at the bottom of the bag, that's definitely...
Is it okay if I picture you with your back on the seat and your legs over the back of the couch?
Yes. Yeah, she's definitely one of those comfy, find the best seated position while
Like
at the same time... Yeah, 100%.
The self-consciousness of earlier has dissipated.
Yep.
Couch is comfortable.
Yeah. And while you get like all those chips in there, you hear your PHS like in your pocket or on the table just buzz, and you get a message. It's just an update from the neighborhood watch from Sector 6, your job. You get those often, basically, whenever there's like a monster sighting. They're like, oh, monster sighted at this corner or whatever. Like, need one. It's a 2-person job. So you get like a couple sightings in Sector 6. It's almost more like a tweet, or just a small update, a blurb. It's not a text someone sent you. It's just like a general message.
Okay.
Back to Elysia. There's some words that have caught your attention, and now you're filtering by the words narrative and troop deployment and like resources, and then there's a name that keeps popping up again. A lot of names are redacted still. You cannot break through to them because probably this archive was meant still for like internal purposes. It was not for public release, and so like lower. It was so that lower level clearance could get to them, but still to those lower level clearance, like a lot of things are redacted. And one of those names that you're able to break through and see is one Lieutenant Ellis Bradley.
Oh.
Which is a name you are familiar with. Mm-hmm. He was your commanding officer on the fateful mission where you got these symptoms. Mm-hmm. Not a nice dude, from what we recall. And then you look into it more and more, and then you see that what all these documents are reports of cover-ups by Shinra.
Ooh.
And there's a lot of them. A lot of it is mostly just like moving injured people to either Nibelheim or to the science division for treatment after several like incidents. And then when you look into that, you start seeing just like incident names. And when you collect all that information, you have a neat little list of like where the most budget went. And so you have one entry from 20 years ago, Kalm. Something that was redacted is called the Veld collateral bombing incident. And then 3 years ago, there was an incident called the Project G incident in Benora. The town of Nibelheim, redacted Project S, last year. Coral Village, the Reactor incident, 8 months ago. Sector 8 slums, redacted, Ancient Materia incident, 1 month ago. And in all of these, that Lieutenant Ellis Bradley is always involved. In fact, he seems to be in charge of all these cover-ups, of the narrative in place. He seems to be above the Turks in terms of decision-making as far as cover-ups go. And in all these cases, Shinra is always directly implicated. All these incidents are caused by Shinra. There are always massive civilian casualties, and there is always Lieutenant Ellis Bradley showing up to cover up all these tragedies. And then there's one last bunch of entries. Ruby, what's happening in the bathroom now?
I think Ruby comes out. She's done. She's medicated and clean and got her hair like wrapped in a towel in the robe. And she just kind of like is looking for like a bottle of wine or something like that. And so I guess she probably like comes by Jewel and she's like, comfy?
Jewel has found the throw blankets and is now huddled up on the couch watching TV, surfing the channels. This is luxury.
Tell me about it. You want any wine? She pulls down like 2 glasses.
I'm okay, thanks though. Any milkshakes over there?
Let me look. Opens up the fridge.
There's probably all the ingredients to make it.
Oh, no. Nope, sorry.
No milkshake.
Elysia would have like an ice cream making kit. Like an ice cream machine. No ice cream, but an ice cream machine.
Ice cream making machine. A very expensive one, right?
Mm-hmm. And it's large. Takes up too much space.
Yeah. So I pop open a bottle of wine. I still pour 2 glasses and I bring one up to Elysia and bring her one. Find anything?
Like leaning forward, rapt attention, glances over at the wine. Oh, thanks. Yeah. So much.
Just in the back, you hear Jewel's phone ringing again, while like the door to Elysia's room is open. And Jewel, if you look at your phone, at your PHS, there's more of these notices, but now they're kind of like popping up one after the other. Like the push notifications are pushing each other. Like monster sighting here. A grouping of monsters here. A lot more activity than usual.
Anywhere of note, like location-wise?
It's all in like all over Sector 6, specifically near Wall Market.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They're encroaching.
Jewel's gonna head upstairs too.
And as Ruby asks Elysia, find anything good? Elysia, you were right on the cusp of filtering through this new bunch of documents. It's a collection of kind of like medical sheets. They seem very old, like 40, 50 years ago. Well, not like, but like 50 years ago. There's a date on them. And they all relate to a project called Project Zero. And then all these documents are a list of failed experiments, most of them being marked terminated and disposed of, except for 1 or 2. One's called Subject 028, and one is called Subject 072.
Elysia will find this and click it while Ruby's there, and then all of this is just filled with cover-ups. Shinra cover-ups. They've done so much harm. And it's all in here. And then she'll like click on one of the subjects to see if there's a file on them.
There is.
I will click 028.
028. There it says age 16-year-old. There's no name listed. It just says subject 028. There is a photo, however. It's a photo from 50 years ago. And you recognize this person.
That's Deanne.
Deanne? This is, they say it's a failed experiment from 50 years ago, Project Zero. And she's pointing towards the screen with her, like, finger.
I don't recall if Deanne mentioned any of that, but I know that she was involved in some Shinra experiments that went terribly wrong for her. She's the person I wanted you to meet. She's very special, just like you.
Wow.
This is the moment Jewel probably walks in the room and her phone is just bing, 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 bing.
One after the other.
Hey guys, I think we might need to head back to Sector 6. I'm seeing a lot of activity. And she's going to sort of turn her device around and just be like, there's just a lot more pings of monster activity than usual. It kind of seems like something is going down.
You get a text. Now, it's not just a notice. It is a text sent to you in all caps. After a series of texts that were like, we need every available body at Wall Market. Like, this is an invasion. And you have more and more panicked text. And the last one you get is all caps addressed to you directly. It just says, where are you, Jewel?
Yeah, I at least gotta go. What's the quickest way out of here, Elysia?
So right-click on the computer screen, eject the hard drive.
You nerd.
This is the 90s. This is the 90s.
Nerd.
She's a nerd. Eject it and then take it out and then put it in a secure pocket in her asymmetrical leather jacket. And then grab another bag, a pre-prepared bag of like all her sciencey shit. And wonder if we could take a helicopter.
You got another helicopter in you?
Do I have access to another helicopter?
You have Sybil's number. I mean, I don't want to call her, but she did say if you needed anything that we could give her a call.
She's got to be good for something, and we do need to make it quick.
I'll give it a try.
I don't want to see her any more than you do, but if we need to get there fast, that's the fastest way.
Okay, I'll call right now. Takes out business card and opens up PHS to call Sybil.
Maybe she'll even protect the people this one time. What a day for Artie to leave.
After 2 rings, she picks up.
Well, already.
There's an issue in Sector 6, and I know you were just on a helicopter. Can you happen to give us a ride?
I just got off. Okay, I'll be right there.
You mean the helicopter? Just
I need to get dressed. What do you have that's red?
Check the closet. As she's like strapping in the armor.
It's a walk-in closet.
Gotcha.
On the other side of the bathroom.
Does Elysia have a lot of clothes?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
So
and Elysia is 5'11".
I was gonna say, like, there's Ruby's probably like, no, too short.
Yeah.
But she probably finds a jacket that's useful, like just a big long jacket, so she like gets that on, just like a nice big. And it's probably still short on the arms, and on the bottom seam, but she just buttles up in that.
Yeah, Elysia has. She loves Solaire, so there's plenty of jacket options.
Gotcha. Another character in layers.
Yeah, leftover from equipment carries over in the next campaign every time.
Yeah. That's why everyone's chucking grenades out, because grenades are everywhere.
So once everybody's actually ready and prepped you hear a helicopter, close in, and this time just like right in the middle of the street next to your house. Here it is, dropping to street level, not even bothering with the ladder. Opens the door. Sybil is there in the passenger area again, and sort of like throws her hands like in the air, like what is it? Are you okay?
Yes, and to be seen. We need to get to Sector 6. There's something happening down there, and Jewel really needs to get there. Thanks for coming.
Hopping into the helicopter and strapping in, Jewel is gonna pull out her device and just be like, I'm surprised that you don't know what's going on, considering you supposedly have eyes everywhere, but there's like an invasion happening in Sector 6 right now. People need our help.
She shrugs. Okay, well, my mission is just to observe Elysia and her, day-to-day life. So if this is your day-to-day life, I'll observe. Come on in. I'm just a free taxi. Come on, I have nothing better to do.
You're really just gonna watch as people get attacked by whatever's down there?
I'll do what I have to.
Huge side-eye. Huge side-eye.
Get in, we're leaving. You're like the last one saying, like, oh no, we're gaining altitude.
I hold my hand out.
Now.
I hold my hand out for Sybil to help me up.
She rolls her eyes and like helps you in.
Thank you.
And quickly, from Sector 5 to Sector 6, the helicopter uses the hole left by the fallen Sector 6 plate from decades ago, the collapsed expressway, and just descends through that opening, which very conveniently descends into Wall Market. The helicopter will drop the ladder. Jewel will quickly just scramble down, and everybody will follow suit, including Sybil, gesturing to the helicopter to leave. As it takes off again, Sybil jumps down last, and the sight in front of you is gut-wrenching.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Respect the Crits, Final Fantasy VII Memories of Midgar Disc 2. If you like what you heard, please consider supporting us by leaving us a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts, or whatever platform you use. It's easy, free, and helps others learn about the show. Follow us for info, updates, and extra clips on our socials. We're on pretty much everything at Respect the Crit, or come be a part of our amazing community in our Discord. Artanis Rinn is played by Alex Herrera, who you can find at AE Herrera or on his Twitch channel, WadeWolf10. Jewel Stone is played by Jamie Lee-Bonés, who you can find at Jamie MF Bones. Elysia Valerius is played by Susan Spenader, who you can find at Suze Laluz. Ruby Weapon is played by me, your host, Ian Duncan, and you can find me at iDunks. Our Materia Keeper is Xavier Trudeau-Deschênes, who you can find at XavierTD. The music in this episode is provided with license or permission by a variety of talented artists, whose info and credits can be found in the episode notes. Please support them by visiting their platforms to hear more of their work. The Everyday Heroes roleplay system is published by Evil Genius Games. And remember, whatever the system, miss or a hit, you always gotta respect the crit. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the live stream. what's the material? What's the summon that's like? It's like that creature that's like covered in the chains and
yeah.
stuff. You know
That's in Final Fantasy X.
And it's his
is
mom.
it 10? Oh.
Yeah, that's Anima.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh,
Very
and then
cool.
Yeah, and then the underworld version when it's on-chained. So
Yeah.
cool.
Hell yeah. So
Yeah.
edgy. I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah. Teenage Ian was really into that.
Hell yeah. FF10 came out at the right time for all of us.
Yes, I played it so many times.
I didn't have a PlayStation 2 when it came out, but I really wanted to like see the game. So I ordered from a strange website just a DVD that had the game
All the
playing.
cutscenes?
So it was like just like an OG Let's Play with no commentary.
Whoa, that's cool. That's wild.
That was weird. It's weird that my parents let me buy it.
Right?